What's up everybody, this is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm going to be making here is we're going to be doing a pork tenderloin. I had a request from a subscriber by the name of Steve Harvey Lewis who wanted me to do a direct cook pork tenderloin on the grill. So since we're going to be direct cooking it, I do want to come up with a brine that's going to be able to sit in for at least 8 to 12 hours. Anyway, this is a very simple brine. I think a lot of times people overthink brines. Really, a brine could just be salt and water. But what we're going to do with our brine is I have about 4 cups of water. We're just going to add a few things that I had laying around. So I had some leftover habaneros, so we're going to throw that in our water. I had some, that was 4 habaneros. I had 1 jalapeno that was diced up that I needed to use. I had a little extra cilantro, so we're just eyeballing this. Like I said, use your own brine, whatever you think would be good in this situation. Alright, so we got some cilantro in there. Normally I would go with fresh garlic, but I have a bunch of this granulated garlic that my sister had before she passed away, so we're going to just throw some of that in, eyeball that. I'm going to eyeball the salt as well. And one thing that this brine is going to do is it's going to help, it's going to start breaking this meat down. So it should come out real tender and it should have a lot of moisture in it, so when we're direct grilling it, it's not going to dry out. We have some brown sugar. Throw some of that in. Now, a spice that I don't use a lot of, again, that was left by my sister, was this star anise or star anise or however you use it. It smells kind of like licorice, and I did do a little research. This is used in a lot of marinades, so you know what? I'm going to go ahead and, or in a lot of brines, I'm going to go ahead and crush 2 of them up and throw them in. Now what I'm going to do, that we have everything in, I'm going to go ahead off camera, bring this up to a simmer, turn it off, and then let it cool down. Now, before we get to actually cooking it, my man Thyron over at TNT Barbecue, link to his channel's my card above in the description below. When he came out here to Denver, he gave me some of this. It's just basically a commercial jerk seasoning. We're going to use, once we're done brining it, we're going to let it sit kind of in this for about an hour. It is mild, so I may pump it up. You know how Thyron is. He's not afraid to eat something mild. Anyway, let's get this stuff on the stove. This brine has had a chance to cool down, and I tasted it, and I'm telling you, the taste in this brine is awesome. And I was calling this a tenderloin earlier in the video. This is a pork loin. Sorry about that. I'm just used to saying tenderloin. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and throw this in a Ziploc bag. Move this pan right quick. Gonna get that in the Ziploc bag, and we're just gonna pour our brine directly in. Then we are going to zip it up, and I'm going to throw it in this pot, and I'm just going to have it sitting in the refrigerator just like this. It's going to have a chance, let's see. This is probably going to have a chance to marinate about 12 hours, so that's going to put some good flavor and tenderization into this. And again, like I said, we are going to be adding this mild jerk seasoning to this before we put it on the grill. And so I think this is going to add some good flavor on top of this. I was able to let this pork loin marinate for about 17 hours in that brine. I did drain off the liquid. There's still some residual habaneros and jalapenos and just some of those things I put in there. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and add our jerk seasoning. So I was reading the label. It said 1 teaspoon per pound of meat. You know, I thought that was alright, but I don't think there's anything wrong with going a little heavier on it. So I'm going to go ahead and add, I'm going to say that's probably about 3 tablespoons. And I'm going to just kind of massage it into this meat. And it's probably going to, you know, the directions on this jerk marinade, say to let it marinate at least an hour. We're going to have about 3 hours before we get it out on the grill. So this pork loin's had a chance to marinate for about 2.5 hours. I was kind of trying to shoot for 3, maybe even 3.5, but looks like we might be getting some rain. So we're just going to go ahead and take this bad boy out. Alright, so here we go. I am going to go ahead and scoop some more of this on here. In the meantime, I have my Weber Kettle. I have my Weber Kettle Grill getting ready. We're getting fired up, so in about 30 minutes we will be out on the grill getting this thing grilled up. So I just wanted to kind of show you how I have this Weber set up while I have these coals getting started. First of all, I'm using some leftover coals from another cook down there, but basically what I'm using is bricks on the outside, and I'm going to pour the coals right down the middle of this. As a matter of fact, I could probably just go ahead and do that now. And that's going to allow me the chance to set something off to the cool side if I need it. Plus, I'm not a believer of spending all this money on all these accessories after the fact. So if I can get by using bricks, that's what I use. Anyway, I'm going to let these briquettes go for about another 30 minutes, get, you know, kind of piping hot, and then we'll get this pork loin on. We got this grill humming. It's about 320 degrees right now. What I did do was wipe off a lot of the solid pieces of vegetables that were on this meat. Now we're just going to throw it on the center. I'm going to let that roll for about 4 or 5 minutes before I flip it over, just to you know, get a little char on the outside. And our eventual temperature on this pork loin is going to be between 140 and 145. So this pork loin's been on here for about 6 minutes. We're going to go ahead and flip it right now. Got some nice char on the outside. Now, how I have these vents set up where I have this thing totally opened up. So I have my top vents completely wide open, the bottom vents completely wide open. Now, it's a little bit cold out here today, so typically I might shut down these vents a little bit, but since it's like, I think they said the temperature is about 35 degrees, I just have this wide open. You're going to adjust your vents based on how your temperature is running first of all. So if you're running hot and you want to shut it down, I like to operate everything from the top vent. I like to leave my bottom vents completely wide open. I'll just shut this vent to turn the temp down on it. And on a day like today, I just leave everything wide open. Anyway, I'm going to let this other side go about another 7 minutes. Then we'll check the temperature and see kind of how much further along we need to cook it. So it's gone another 7 minutes on the grill. I did set it off to the side. When I temped it, we were right at about 145 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, take it inside, let it rest a couple minutes, and then slice it up. Now, this has had about 5 minutes to rest. I just didn't want to cut it completely hot. Let's go ahead and slice it up. And this kind of has a pink center in it. Still pretty moist. Extremely moist. As a matter of fact, we could just make this a taste test. This right here, that brine, man. You know, hold on a second. I'm going to go get my son, he's going to taste this. So I definitely wanted to make sure I got a second opinion on this stuff to see if this is as good as I thought it was. Go ahead and let me just cut you off a little slice here. Don't cut yourself. What do you think?
Ooh, it just looks good. The outside's nice and crisp, good seasoning. The inside's so tender and juicy.
I'm telling you, this was some good stuff right here. Anyway, I could probably eat this whole damn thing, but I'm not. Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.